Somebody asked me the other day, why are you always talking about broken men? And to answer your question, the reason why I think it's necessary to talk about broken men is because a lot of men out there do not see the necessity of taking care of themselves before engaging in a relationship. The issue behind that is that they're going to deal with people knowing they already have extra baggages they've never touched. And yeah, whenever I say broken, it means that there are a lot of things that you've already dealt with, emotionally speaking, that you have never tackled. And those things, as I said earlier, become baggages. And those baggages ended up causing problems in your life and the person that you're trying to be in a relationship with. And as much as a lot of people might not think about it, if you're going to be the provider, if you're going to be the security in the family, you cannot be broken. Just that simple. And since we're already in the subject of talking about broken men, today I want to talk to you guys about the 5 types of broken men you should avoid at all costs. 5 types of broken men you should avoid at all costs. Welcome back to those of you already part of the community. And if you are new around, on this channel, we give relationship advice. If this is something that you're into, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell because we've got a lot to talk about. The first type of broken man you should avoid at all costs is the emotionally unavailable guy. Anytime I say emotionally unavailable, I want you to think about this. You are dating a wall. A wall in a sense where anything that you say, anything that you do, as far as showing affection, as far as showing the person how much you love them, they are not going to react to it. Despite the fact that you put your entire self into something, they are not going to give you that reciprocity. Why? Because they are emotionally unavailable. This is the type of person who's not going to react to the good things that you're going to do to them. They're also not going to initiate into doing some emotionally connected stuff for you. And the reason why it's such a big deal is because whenever we talk about relationship, it's all about emotional connections. If we are not emotionally connected to each other, at some point, we're not going to feel the love. It's almost like we're going to be dating just to say that we are dating. But when it comes to exercising our love for each other, it's not going to happen because one of the people in that relationship is a wall. And whenever you meet a guy who's emotionally unavailable, they're going to give you excuses as far as, yeah, things have happened to me in the past to the point where I've never had a chance to really open up to anybody, to be emotionally available to anybody because of the fear behind me showing you emotions. The main reason why I call it excuses is because if you know that you're going to be in a relationship with somebody that you say you love, you need to open up. If you know that you're not willing and ready to open up, why would you try to be in a relationship? Because whenever we talk about relationship, again, it's about building something good. It's about being happy. It's about loving each other. But if you can't even show the person that you're trying to be with that, how do you expect them to feel loved and be happy? And that's why I'm always telling you, ladies, do not engage in a relationship with anybody who's emotionally unavailable because it's going to be a dead end. So the next time you find yourself in that situation, let the guy know that you need him to take care of himself first before engaging or trying to be in a relationship with you, because it's going to be a nightmare. You're going to try to show emotion, you're going to try to love the person, you're going to try to make them happy, and you're not going to get anything in return. Instead of going through all that and not being happy or having to go into another relationship, let them know from the get-go. So for the first type of broken men you should avoid, emotionally unavailable is at the top of the list. The second type of broken men you should avoid at all costs is the commitment phobe. The commitment phobe is that they do not want to be committed to anybody when it comes to building a relationship, when it comes to anything that could affect them in the future, because they wake up every day facing the trauma that have happened in their childhood, trauma that have happened in the family, things that have hurt them so deep to the point where they're still living life thinking that this could happen to them in the near future or in the present moment. This is the type of person who could give you the world. This is the type of person who's going to show you love. But when it comes to having a child with that person, when it comes to building a family, when it comes to getting married, when it comes to buying a house, anything that requires commitment, they're going to run away from it. This is the type of people who's also going to tell you they do not want a label on the relationship because they do not believe the process of making you expecting so much from them or for them to be expecting so much from you. And if by any unfortunate chances you happen to not fulfill those expectations, it's going to be even more problematic for them because they expect bad things to happen. That's one of the main reasons why they do not want to commit to anybody. And that's why I felt the need to put the commitment phobe in that category, because I understand the level of pressure they're putting on themselves to the point they're never going to allow themselves to commit to anyone. Because who's going to want to be in a relationship with somebody who never want to commit? And whenever you realize something like that, ladies, it is entirely okay for you to do what's best for you. You could try to talk to them about it. You could try to change their mind. If they don't go and fix those things themselves, whatever people are going to tell them, they are not going to go with it. And that's why it's important for men like that to really have a sit down with themselves and understand that they have a problem. For the ladies that probably have already found themselves in that situation, it's not your job to rescue. It's not your job to fix. It's their job to fix the situation because they are battling themselves. So for the second type of broken men you should avoid at all costs is the commitment phobe. For number 3, we have the drug addict. Drug addiction is more mental than anything else. And that's why I think it's important to put it in the broken men package. A drug addict always think drug is going to help them escape from the reality. And that's the problem. They always think by drinking, that's gonna help them escape from the reality without realizing after they are done using that substance, not only is gonna destroy them more, but they're gonna have to come back to the same reality they thought they were escaping from. The second issue with dating somebody like that is that at some point you might also become a drug addict because this person is going to be doing it so much in front of you to the point where you're going to sometimes feel like it's okay. And by you thinking it's okay, when you start having your own problem with the relationship, not understanding why this person is hurting himself so much, to the point where you can easily get trapped into the same mindset. And that's why I always tell folks, if you realize that your boyfriend, your husband is addicted to drug, it's best to seek medical help. It's best to go to a psychologist, see what they could do. Have them sit down with a professional as soon as possible because this thing will destroy your life within the snap of a finger. That's why it's important to really know who you are dating and who to stay away from, because there are a lot of people who won't tell you exactly what they're battling every day, what they're going through every day. And if you've ever found out that the person that you are dating is a drug addict, it's important that you make sure that they go seek medical help. It's not your job to sit there with them, drinking with them or anything like that, because the worst thing about the drug addict is that at some point, a drug addict can easily turn into an abuser. And that's another reason why you should never date that type of broken man. Because not only you're not safe, the relationship is not working, and there's a small possibility that they could turn you into the same type of people they are. So please do not let your emotional connections, the way that you would want the relationship to be one day, keep you from making one of the worst mistakes of your life. The minute you start getting those type of signals, it's important for you to act on them. Make sure to go seek medical help and do yourself the biggest favor and leave. So the third type of broken man you should avoid is the drug addict. So for number 4, this is something that you guys are already familiar with, the mama's boy. The reason why I think the mama's boy definitely needs to be in that package is because whenever we talk about mama's boy, this is somebody who doesn't understand boundaries between his moms and his relationship. He doesn't care. He doesn't even think about it because in his head, his mom is the number one woman on the table. Nobody else exists. This is why you're going to constantly find people like that comparing their mommy with anybody that they are dating. Dating a mama's boy automatically means that you will never be at the mom's level. And I understand for most men, they love their mom. They have a good connection with their mom. But whenever you find yourself dating a guy who's too attached to the mom to the point where they don't understand boundaries when it comes to the relationship, this is not going to just be a relationship between you and the guy. It's going to be a relationship between you, the mom, and the guy. And for the many women who think they could actually go with it, thinking, yeah, you know what, despite whatever the situation, I really love him, I want to make it work. But at the same time, what they fail to realize is that it's not up to you for the relationship to work out. It's not up to you to think about the future of the relationship, because the mom is the most important woman in that relationship. And again, this is one of the problems that people never felt the need to actually fix before they become a big problem in the future. Despite how much a mom loves her son and how much the son loves his mom, they at some point need to realize that everybody has a separate life. And if you happen to get in a relationship where the guy is not able to think for himself, why are you even trying to be in a relationship like that? The guy is broken. And the main reason why it's broken and still probably be broken in the next years to come, as long as the mom is still alive, he'll never feel independent to be on his own. Because however you flip it, this guy will only see his mom as the only most important woman in the world. And you being the outsider, there's absolutely nothing you could do to save yourself or to save the relationship because it was never about you. So for number 4, a mama's boy is the 4th type of broken man you should avoid at all costs. Number 5 is the worst of them all. Why is it worst of them all? This is the guy who always played the victim while he's constantly blaming everybody around him. This is the type of person who's gonna tell you, my dad went to the store, never came back, and this thing affected me, but this guy is 30 years old. You are 30 right now. Whatever your dad did to you when you were little, you had at least 15 good years to fix it. You got out of school, you became a teenager, you became an adult, now you are 30. If there are things that need to change, if there are things that you want to do better, it's your time to do it now because you are an adult now. But no, this is not the type of guy who's gonna go through that because they always want to have somebody to blame. And this is the worst of them all because you cannot win argument with that person. Anything about that person is about what somebody did to them without realizing that they are their own problems. So for people like that, they always want to look good in the face of society because they are the victim. For people like that, they'll never take accountability for their actions because they are the victim. This is the type of people that's going to be difficult for you to be in a relationship with. And if you're going to be this person's significant other, you already know that you're going to be the problem behind each and every argument. And if you're going to keep it honest, why would anybody want that? Because the whole point of being in a relationship is to be happy. How are you going to be happy with somebody who's constantly blaming you of things that you did not do? Just because they're always playing the victim. Just because they keep dwelling on problems that probably happened 10, 15, 20 years ago without understanding it's time to move on because they are still a child. And that's the reason why those type of people fit perfectly in that package. Understand each and every type that I've talked about in this video can definitely seek help if they really want it. That's why they are called the broken types. However, if you find yourself in situations like this, it is not your job to rescue or trying to fix those people because all 5 of them are constantly fighting themselves. They need to let go in order for them to find change. So just so we're clear, the 5 types of broken men you should avoid at all costs. The first one is the emotionally unavailable guy. The second one is the commitment phobe. The third one is the drug addict. The fourth one is the mama's boy. And the fifth one is the blaming everybody because he's the victim. On that note, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If I've missed something in the process, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.